And we're live. Awesome. What is up, Internet? How are you doing this Wednesday evening? Let's see. Got a decent amount of Facebook notifications from this week. Let's see. Here we go. Just got to approve some folks who are joining our Facebook group. Feel free to join that. Link in the link tree in the description, or join our Discord server where we can kind of chat a little more throughout the week when we're not streaming. Our question this week, we do a question of the week if you're not familiar, is what does love look like to you? We got a couple of cool responses. Debbie said Jesus, kindness, honesty, generosity, thoughtfulness. Elaine said a shared joke with her husband, holding a new or old grandchild in your arms, thinking of the cross, and doing something unexpectedly nice for someone, or someone doing that for me. Oh, her doing that for someone, or someone doing that for her. That's good. Good stuff. I actually found out today that the whole 5 love languages thing, that was like a part of my wife and I's premarital counseling, and has been very common in the church for a very long time, is actually pseudoscience. It's false. It's been disproven, which is a little crazy, because that was like pretty significant stuff. I wasn't totally surprised, but I did have to look it up. Hey, our weekly kick bot. Let's go ahead and kick that bot. Yeah. So a little surprising there, but not totally surprising. And so we kind of looked into that a little bit more today. Let's see if I still have that in my history, because that was actually kind of cool. Oh, is it not gonna? It's not gonna show up here, is it? Oh, but can I do my Google Chrome history? How about that? It's still just showing this browser. Okay. 5 love languages. What did I search it? Was it more than 5 languages? More than 5 love languages. Here we go, yeah. So there's also emotional love, which kind of seems obvious, but that's empathy, compassion, deep emotional connection. Intellectual love, which is connection through ideas, opinions, and learning together. Practical or financial love, which is just like being responsible, doing chores, things like that. Feeling known or understood. I think that one's pretty obvious, based off of what it's saying. It's just repeating itself. And then shared activity, bonding over things that you do together. Similar to quality time, but more active. So it's not just being together, it's doing something together. So that's very cool. Maybe I should release a book called The 10 Love Languages, or The 5 Other Love Languages. Maybe that would get me sued. But that was kind of interesting. Something that I learned this week. Very exciting stuff. Let me go ahead and condense my windows here, because I just have too many tabs. Too many windows open, actually. If you're just joining us, my name is Matt. I'm a pastor here at Fremont.Church, and part of what I do here is just hop online and create space for conversation to be had, whether you're a Christian or not, where we can just discuss life, faith, what it's like following Jesus, anything of that sort. And so I'm here to just be a little bit. So this is kind of like an Ask Me Anything stream that I do every Wednesday, and of course we do our typical church thing every Sunday. But I have my coffee this evening. I have a French roast. And then someone brought in for our staff Secret Santa a creme brulee that is out of focus. Creme brulee cake, which is interesting. I'm not usually a huge cake person, but everyone said that it was pretty good. And last week I did oatmeal raisin cookies. This week I thought I would do something different. And I think we actually might be out of oatmeal raisin, which is good because it's my favorite cookie, and I will eat way too many creme brulee cookies if left unattended with those cookies. Hey, Yuki, how are you doing? Sounds like you've been busy. Well, doesn't sound like. You're saying you've been busy. What have you been up to? How has your week been? That's something that we ask pretty often here as kind of like a community time question. We ask, what are you stressed about and what are you thankful for this week? For me, I'm stressed about the holidays. We are going to visit my wife's family in San Jose and my brother's family in Santa Rosa. And so we're going to be doing a lot of driving over the holidays. But I'm very thankful because I get to take a couple of days off when we're not doing that. And so I think just outside of like the additional holidays, days off. So, oh man, last week I tried to end my life until another Christian streamer saved me. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I'm very glad that you're here. Not only because you are a consistent commenter, chatter on these live streams, but because you are a person who is important to Jesus. And man, I'm very glad that you're here. If you want, you can share a little bit about what happened. If that would make you uncomfortable, no worries whatsoever, no pressure at all. I'm not trying to get content here or anything. I just genuinely care about what happened to you, and that's really unfortunate. If you would like to talk a little more privately, feel free to join our Discord server with the QR code or the link, and then I'll DM you, and we can talk a little more privately, or we can just talk in the Discord so that others can chime in. We can have a little bit of community, because I know that's really important as well when you're struggling with any sort of mental health sort of things, and so I would love to be able to include you in that community if you're not there already. But yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. I actually had earlier this year some darker thoughts, and it was one of the big things that really pushed me, because I already had several other reasons, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. And I actually have an adjustment disorder that I've been diagnosed with. So anytime there's a big life change, it really makes me anxious and depressed. But I had kind of spiraled a little bit. And so that was a big push for me to finally go and talk to someone, a professional, for the first time in my life. And it turned out to be really helpful. And I learned a lot of really great skills and unpacked a lot of things and realized that I was really punishing myself for things that I didn't need to punish myself for. And yeah, that was a very helpful experience for me. I don't know what that has been like for you. If you're talking to anyone, seeing anyone for mental health things, I know you mentioned you had other health concerns in previous streams, and so I definitely recommend it if it's appropriate for you, or if you're comfortable with that. Or, like I said, join the Discord. I'd be willing to chat to the extent of my knowledge. And yeah. Well, last week I was having thoughts of unaliving to the point I wanted to do it until I met another Christian Twitch streamer. I was also about to make an unaliving note, but then I deleted it. Now the thoughts keep coming back to the Twitch Christian streamer. Actually stopped me today by praying and everything. I went in to get a cell phone charger cord and tying it. I think I'm reaching my mental breakdown yesterday. I'm so sorry. Man, if you're comfortable, feel free to let me know. Would it be okay if I prayed for you as well? Just right here on stream. Again, like, stream aside, I'd love to just chat. Yeah, okay. For anyone who's not a Christian who's tuning into the stream, man, I'm just gonna take a break from the agenda here, and I'm just gonna pray for Yuki. And if you are a Christian, if you'd love to join me in prayer, whether you're watching live or watching back the recording, I feel like it's just kind of important to just stop a little bit when someone expresses something like this. So. Dear God, I just want to lift up Yuki to you this evening. Man, it sounds like she's going through a lot, and I can't imagine how difficult it must be. God, I know that you're there with her, and I ask you to just make your presence known with her. I know that she's reading her Bible, and she's going through a lot, and God, would you just be warm. God, would you just be present? Would you be a comfort to Yuki in this time? God, would you surround Yuki with streamers and friends and family who care for her and for her feelings? And God, I hope I'm using the right pronouns. I actually don't know, but God, would you just be with Yuki in this time of struggle, and God, would you just show Yuki that you see their value, her value, their value. God, that life has value. Every human life, no matter what stage someone is in of following you, no matter how much they struggle, you value their life, God. And so would you just remind Yuki of that right now? And when things are darkest, would you just be a light? Would you just be a warm presence? Would you provide hope? Would you provide a Christian streamer saying the right thing at the right time, just as you have already done, or a friend or a family member reaching out, or a community of people that can support Yuki through this? And God, I have very limited wisdom. Would you just do for Yuki whatever needs to be done in order to help in this situation? Because I can pray a prayer and hope it's the right thing, but God, you know what the right thing is. So we lift this prayer up to you, God, and just want to say thank you for Yuki and the person that they've been tuning into these streams and the conversations that we've had, and it's already been such a blessing to our church online in the last few weeks. And so we thank you and we praise you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Well, that was a very good detour. It's exactly why I do this. I know it's not like a popular thing to do on stream, and it's probably confusing for anyone hopping on, but yeah, you can tell me your real name. That's totally fine. Other than this being streamed out to the internet, I won't be doxing anyone. Autumn, it's nice to meet you. And I hope I guessed with the she pronouns, and then I kind of backpedal a little bit. I hope that's the correct pronouns, but correct me if I'm wrong, please. As a pastor who's struggled with mental health struggles, I don't really play with that. Like, if anyone ever needs prayer for something like that, like, it's already a huge thing to ask for prayer, even more so in a public setting like this. And so I really appreciate that you said something. And I'm really glad that other streamer, whoever they were, was there for you. And it seems like you're kind of like filling your life with Christian streamers, whoever is live streaming at any given time, that you're kind of tuning in to listen, and that's good. I know that the things that I watch have a really big impact on my mental health, and so I think it's really cool that you're already kind of surrounding yourself with Christian streamers versus like a lot of the other stuff that's on the internet. Like, I'm all for like enjoying pop culture and stuff like that, as long as it doesn't interfere with your walk with God or your mental health. And as soon as it does, then it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe we should reevaluate some of those things. For me, like, when shows get really like depressing and dramatic, that's when it really like takes a toll on my mental health. But yeah, it's such a challenge these days. I tell people on staff here all the time, like, I don't think that humans were supposed to be able to have access to all of the news and content and opinions from anyone, anywhere in the world, all at once at any time, because I don't think it's good for our mental health. And so while stuff like this, like, we're trying to create a space that's like really healthy for having open discussion, like stuff like that, of course, like, I wouldn't want to put anything out there that made people feel bad, but it isn't. What isn't? I'm sorry, I don't know the context. I forgot what I was saying. Like, there's just things out there that weigh on your mental health, like having 24/7 access to the news. It isn't healthy. Yeah. Then, Kim Kardashian ruined body positive. Yeah. I don't really follow a lot of like the Kardashian Jenner stuff, but I do know that Kim Kardashian essentially got a whole bunch of plastic surgery, and then everyone who loved Kim Kardashian, well, not everyone, but a lot of people who loved Kim Kardashian went and got plastic surgery. But then at some point she said, oh, actually, I'm going to be body positive, and got surgeries to get all of that removed and like go back to being more of a natural, like less, you had to get more surgery to get less, I don't know. But essentially got stuff reversed. But not everyone can like afford to do that, especially because it's expensive to do it the first time. So like, you then had a bunch of people with plastic surgery who now their icon is now against, or I don't know if she's against plastic surgery. Again, I'm not in that sphere, but basically they're now stuck with the things that Kim Kardashian got undone. But and then Taylor Swift ruined music. Actually, some of the early Taylor Swift stuff I was a fan of, but then like things got kind of like heavy and crazy. I forget what album that was. Let me look that up. Taylor Swift most recent albums. The Ear. Okay, here's her discography. Good old Wikipedia. The Era Tour ruined music for everyone. Yeah, I haven't been a big Taylor Swift fan for a while. Okay, so Fearless is kind of like the OG Taylor Swift for me. And then Red was one that was probably like peak Taylor Swift. It kind of started as a meme for me. And then I was like, wait, I actually kind of like this. But then I think it might have been Reputation. What year did that come out? 2017? Yeah, anything after that, it was kind of just like, oh, things started to get a little dark. A little too dark for me. Yeah. I feel bad because her dad is a music manager. She wasn't born poor, but she always thinks she's a goody two-shoes. Yeah, there need to be more studies done on this industry. Like this and, like the Disney Nickelodeon star, like child star, they have their own TV show sort of thing. Anyone, and like Justin Bieber as well, I think is in that same sphere of like artists and actors who got famous really young and how it impacted their lives. Yeah, it's not great. Miley Cyrus is in that sphere too. She's kind of, yeah. At least Cartoon Network is smart and not keeping live action shows. Yeah. Oh man, now that you mention that, like, when was the last Cartoon Network live action? Do they do that anymore? Let's see. What does Google AI say? Since this is the first thing that pops up. Yeah. They have like film adaptations, but not a ton of like live action. Destroy, Build, Destroy was on when I was watching Cartoon Network. That's a good one. And then there were Ben 10 and Scooby-Doo movies. These other ones, I don't really know like what live action shows there were. I grew up with Steven Universe, Codename Kids Next Door, and Code Lyoko, which is an anime. I hope I'm saying that right. Steven Universe is good. I watched a little bit of it. It has some good music in it, but I couldn't really get super into it long term. Codename Kids Next Door, I do remember. That was a banger when I was a kid. And then I'm not super in the anime sphere, so I don't know the other one. But yeah, it is easier to keep like cartoons running for much longer because your voice actors get visibly older, but they can still kind of do the same voice. That's why I think a lot of cartoons are much more long running. I want to say it was like Family Guy. They said they're kind of just going to keep going until... It might have been Family Guy or The Simpsons. They were like, we're just going to keep going until one of the voice actors dies, because then at that point it's like, okay, well, we just won't replace anyone, right? That's why Cartoon Network is better. Yeah. Like Disney and Nick, they both really heavily leaned into like their personalities. The like actors and actresses and the characters. And I remember seeing like growing up, like I think it was Disney Channel did like the different teams. There was like a red, blue, green, and yellow team. Nick, I don't know if they did something like that, but I know Nickelodeon and Disney kind of operated in the same sphere, and then they kind of overlapped a little bit with Cartoon Network, but Cartoon Network really like has a corner on like the cartoon sphere. I feel like they had the best stuff as far as cartoons go. South Park should end already. Yeah, I stopped watching South Park a long time ago. I hear about it every so often. They, of course, do a lot of stuff with, like, whatever's going on in the current, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like zeitgeist. That's a fancy word for just, like, whatever's happening in the world. Any major news, but also pop culture. Let's take a look at South Park. I haven't watched South Park in a really long time. We're not going to watch South Park on the stream. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, and this is stuck. That's great. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and go back here so that we can... Oh, wait, but then I can't fix it. This is fun. I loved the K-pop boarding school show on Nickelodeon called Make It Pop, but Nickelodeon ended it too quickly. Yeah. Are you in the K-pop sphere at all? Because I hear a lot of great things about K-pop Demon Hunter, but I haven't watched it. I'm not super into K-pop. I just know that it's popular. Let's see. I loved New Jeans. Look them up. Let's check it out. New Jeans. All right. I think it's a K-pop group. Let me know if that's right or wrong. So let's go back to my YouTube where I was testing the audio for the stream. And then we are going to fix it live. Let's go ahead and do this. And we will do this. And then we will go back to Google Chrome. All right, there we go. Fixed it. All right. Would not be a live stream here at FCC if we didn't have technical issues. But New Jeans is a Korean group briefly known as NJZ. Let's see. They had a single called Attention. Their first #1 song on South Korea's Circle Digital chart. And then they released 2 more singles, Hype Boy and Cookie. Hype Boy became the longest running song on the Billboard Global 200 by a K-pop female act. Good for them. Let's see. And then they put it all in an EP in 2022. And then in 2023, they released OMG. And then 2 singles, Ditto and OMG. Longest running #1 song on the Circle Digital chart. Hey! And first entry on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the UK single chart. Sounds like they're doing great. I don't know much about K-pop, but that is New Jeans. This is their album. Very cool. I did want to look at South Park as well, because they've been going for a long time. I kind of just wanted to look and see. I don't need the premise. Development, production. I just want to know how long it's been going. They should really give you like a menu option to jump. Oh man, since 1997. That's wild. August. So it's actually as old as I am. That's crazy. Powerpuff Girls collaboration with New Jeans. Okay. We got new Jeans lore. So let's go back there and let's do a Command F and see if we can find Power. Oh no, I can't find anything about Powerpuff Girls. Interesting. Okay, let's Google it. New Jeans Powerpuff Girls. Okay. Let's see. Is this a... I'm on Powerpuff Girls wiki. Is that... Oh, okay. Is this it? New Jeans X Powerpuff Girls. So is that supposed to be them then? Is that... Let's look. So we've got these 5 and then these 5. Maybe they dyed their hair at some point. I don't see a super strong resemblance, personally. But that's just me. Again, I'm not in this sphere whatsoever. So this is this is an AMA, and so we're literally just going through with whatever folks want to talk about. Justin, hi, how you doing? How has your week been? We are just doing an AMA. I'm a pastor here in Fremont, California, and I will literally go down any rabbit trail that we want to go down. Do you be chillin' for real? Like your username suggests? Because if so, good for you. I don't... Actually, now that I'm tasting it, number one, yes. Creme brulee cake is very tasty. But now, I don't think I've ever had creme brulee. So this might actually be my first experience. And it is quite tasty. My favorite anime is Magical Do-Re-Mi, a magical girl anime. But I try not to watch anime too much or I won't sleep. Yeah, for me it's Netflix, honestly, or YouTube. I'll go down a rabbit trail and then it'll mess up my sleep schedule. And actually that happened this week, ironically. And last night, question mark? It's hard to remember. I've been going down on a hyperfixation recently. Actually, I will go to YouTube. That's where it froze last time. But it is worth it for this rabbit trail. I finally got my shrimp chips. They're yummy. Congratulations. Speaking of shrimp chips, I actually literally learned about shrimp chips a few days ago from this YouTube channel. Which is kind of funny. This is Outdoor Boys. And it's literally this guy who just goes, like, camping places. And recently I've been on this Arctic kick that he's been doing. But he does, like, regular camping stuff as well.
We love building stuff.
I don't need to plug him because he's got 18.4 million subscribers. But this has been my current hyperfixation. And I learned about him this year, actually, which was unfortunate that I didn't hear about him sooner. because he actually just recently said he's gonna stop doing it. So you can see there on the top right, like, it says goodbye. And that was like, I subscribed. Yeah, so 7 months ago, I subscribed after this bottom left video camping in the Arctic Circle with no tent. He posted that. I subscribed. The next video, he says goodbye. And he said, I'm going to post the next 3 videos that I still have in the pipeline. And so it's like, okay, well, great. That's just awesome. Look up the magical Do Re Mi opening. Okay, we'll see. We'll try it out. I'm not a huge fan of anime, just because of the animation style and some of the cultural things with Japanese animation. But let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and preview this for the stream here. Magical Do Re Mi opening. Let's go ahead and check this out. See, what would be perfect is if they provided closed captions on this video, but they don't. But let's go ahead. It's kind of giving like Japanese Powerpuff Girls a little bit, plus music. Yeah, and I'm not like that. The pitch is kind of hurting my ears a little bit, honestly. So it looks like a fun show. Kids. There's an American dub. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Opening English.
I got a secret I can't tell.
Okay.
Guess I better cast my spell. Don't you worry, just you wait. Everything's gonna be great, just like magic. Watch and see. Magical Do Re Mi, like
This is not where I thought the
magic.
stream was
1,
going
2,
when I started.
3, just like magic. That's me. It's a witch, she's mad and green. Meanest witch you've ever seen. You got a broom and I
English
got a
dub is
wand.
kind of giving like
We've got
Arthur
friendship,
vibes.
we've got a bond. Like
On
magic.
Cartoon Network.
Watch and see. Magical Do Re Mi, like magic.
Oh, no.
1, 2, 3,
On CW
just like
Kids.
magic. You and me. Watch and see.
CW is another
Magical Do Re Mi, like magic. Oh, 1, 2, 3, just like magic.
Yeah. That was an interesting rabbit trail. CW was good, and that's like, I watched the CW as a kid because they had good kid shows. Probably the same CW kids, but then I kind of came back to it as an adult when they started doing the Arrowverse DC shows with the Green Arrow and the Flash. And then they added Supergirl and The Legends of Tomorrow. And then I think a Superman show, too, that I never ended up watching. But, yeah, CW, a little bit underrated with stuff like that. I think they also did, I could be wrong, they did Supernatural, which was very popular when I was a teenager. The American version removed the fairies you see in the Japanese version. Oh, interesting. I wonder what it was specifically about fairies that didn't make the American cut. If there was maybe just like they didn't test well or something like that. I don't know. But it's definitely giving like Powerpuff Girls, I think. That's my opinion, though. That's all kind of in the same sphere to me. Like Powerpuff Girls, Sanrio, Hello Kitty sort of stuff. Go Go Ricky. I don't know if I know that one. Let's take a look. English name for a Russian kids cartoon. Is it Go-Go Riki? Maybe? This one? I do not remember this, no. Interesting. Or Balloon Tunes, apparently. Yeah, it's really interesting to hear what people grew up on. You seem to have a wide variety of countries of origins for your childhood cartoons. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, that blue bunny in the corner looks vaguely familiar. Vaguely. So maybe I saw it at some point. I don't know. I didn't grow up with a ton of like cartoons as a kid. I grew up primarily with like PBS, which I'm forgetting what the S stands for, but Public Broadcast Service. Why am I blanking on that? Yeah, Public Broadcasting Service. PBS and PBS Kids. We had like a total of like 5 channels or something like that growing up. It's sad that magical girl shows like The Adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir is now showing inappropriate topics to children. Yeah, that's why I like previewed the anime first before showing it on stream, because like it's even with like kids shows and stuff now, it's pretty hit or miss whether like it's appropriate or like content safe. Like it obviously like stays within the lines of like being shown on TV, but it often like really tries to creep up to that line in a way that for me like will kind of press the boundary a little bit too much when it comes to like content, especially with anime, just because Japanese culture is very different from American culture, and what is or isn't okay or acceptable or the norm is very different. But even like with like life lesson wise, we're very careful with our daughter on like what shows that we let her watch. And so like we just like started letting her watch Disney movies and things like that. We didn't do any screen time really in her first year, like very, very minimal. And even then it was mostly Bluey because she loved the Bluey theme song and it calmed her down. And I needed all the tricks in my book in order to parent well in that first year. But now she's a little more into Disney movies. She likes Winnie the Pooh. But Bluey has some really good life lessons and stuff in it, and some really good voice crack, moral sort of like takeaways, and even for parents as well, like the meme of like I sat down to watch Bluey with my kids and then my kids left. Like it's true, it's a good show. But things like Peppa Pig like teach that like you can throw a tantrum until you get your way, and just like messages that aren't good for kids. But the magical Doremi, the girls are in elementary school, and then you get to the Japanese versions and it's even better. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. I loved Pound Puppies. It's a good show. Yeah. I am not familiar with that one either, but apparently we had very different childhood shows growing up. I watched Arthur and Bear in the Big Blue House. Zaboomafoo. Zaboomafoo was a banger, honestly. They're the same people who do Wildcrats now. Another example of how animation kind of outlives live action. Because they're able to voice their characters, but they don't do the live action anymore. So anything in that sphere. There's more that I can't remember the names of, but it's been a while. But yeah, it's tough, like figuring out what we can or cannot show our daughter is it's tricky. And so oftentimes, ironically, like we'll just watch things that we like to watch. Like I really like Star Wars, and Star Wars for the most part is pretty safe for kids. And so we don't have to like scale back anymore. I feel like the more the years go by, the less appropriate things get, if that makes sense. And the less appropriate things get shown to younger and younger audiences, which is unfortunate. But that's just my nerdy observation of media, since I'm kind of had a little bit of training in that space. I'm operating a little bit in that space. But my favorite show as a baby was Dora the Explorer, because my mama was addicted to Dora, and so was your uncle. Yeah. I remember, well, even though it's kind of more targeted towards girls, I do remember watching Dora as well. I remember something about her collecting like magical stars or something like that. And I don't think I ever finished that, but oh yeah, Explorer Stars. That's what it is. Let's see. This is what it was. Yeah. She was collecting these stars, and they are, I guess, called Explorer Stars. And so the stars have different themes, and I don't know if they had powers or whatever, but I do vaguely remember Dora the Explorer. Your daughter would love the original Dora. Honestly, it might be good. I remember it being, I don't know how bilingual it was. I know it was primarily English with a little bit of Spanish splashed in, but I feel like that could be good for sure. Oh my gosh, the Explorer Stars have names. That's okay. Well, actually, some of them have good names, and some of them don't. We have Saltador, Glowy, Noisy, Switchy, but then then you get this, they just stop coming up with names. Tool Star, Rocket Star, Hero Star, Funny Star. They throw in a couple more names in there. they go back to naming that. Baker Star, Spy Star. That's crazy. Anyway, a little Dora the Explorer rant there. Yeah, kid shows have a really big impact on us as adults, and so we do have to be pretty careful about that stuff, and we have to be careful about what we show our kids. My favorite Dora movie was her first Christmas movie. We actually watched it with my uncle. Yeah, this is actually, I think, going to be our last stream before Christmas, so I'll ask anyone watching, but you specifically, Yuki, what is like a fun family Christmas tradition? I think we talked a little bit about this last week, but yeah, what are you guys doing for Christmas? What do you like doing for Christmas? Are you traveling? Are people traveling to you? Like I said earlier, we're going to be traveling a little bit, but luckily in driving distance. It's just a little stressful because we're going through potty training right now. It should be a fun Christmas, though. Like, my daughter's at the age now where she's starting to, like, understand what's going on. So she's like, Christmas tree, snowman, Santa Claus. Like, and so it's really cute. It's really fun. The Charlie Brown Christmas movie is a good tradition. Yes, I agree. That's a fun one. And you want to make Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treats. That sounds awesome. That sounds very sugary and very delicious. You typically do a lot of baking over the holidays or in general. I don't do a lot of baking, but I'm actually finding in recent years that I really enjoy it. Yeah. I think I've made cookies and cornbread. So like a very limited amount of baking, but very very enjoyable. Nice and relaxing. It fills the house with good smells. Yeah. But like I said earlier, I do have to be careful. Because if we just have like a jar of cookies lying around, it's tough. It's tough. And despite me eating cake right now, I'm actually dieting. I'm down a few pounds, which is nice. So as long as I track it, we should be okay. Mini marshmallows, 98 cents at Walmart. Awesome. That's super cool. I think I don't know if you're a mini marshmallows and hot cocoa type of person, but that is definitely a banger. But I don't think I've bought mini marshmallows in a long time. When I was a kid, we would connect PVC pipes together and create like marshmallow blowguns. And so, I mean, you could just do a tube, or you could get it into more of a firearm sort of shape and then blow into it. And you could shoot little mini marshmallows. But then they started coming out with like actual marshmallow shooters. And it was like all electronic, and then you would just be wasting marshmallows. It wasn't as fun. Well, and I hope you enjoy those Fruity Pebble Rice Krispies, because that sounds delicious. I used to be, but since my grandmother died, no hot cocoa. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really unfortunate about your grandma. I'm a little confused about the correlation between your grandmother, that was weird, your grandmother and hot cocoa. But very sorry to hear about that. Was that a recent thing? That's her favorite thing to drink during Christmas. Oh man, I'm sorry. That must be hard, knowing that it's someone's favorite beverage and then drinking it, trying to enjoy it, and remembering them. But yeah, hopefully we can look back on the loved ones that we've lost and have positive memories of the of the things that they enjoyed, but I know it's not that easy. She died last year, July the 4th. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. And of course, everyone's setting off fireworks and having parties and stuff, and that's a very unfortunate time to lose someone. I'm sorry. Of course, any time is unfortunate, but I'm very sorry to hear about that. Yeah. I lost a friend a couple years ago, and sometimes it's hard for me to go back and do the things that he enjoyed, just because like all those feelings and emotions come rushing back up, and that can definitely be a challenge. Yeah, but I'm still working on it for sure. But it's definitely one of those things where it's like, let's try to enjoy this because it'll honor his memory, sort of thing. Or like I'll remember the experiences that we did have fondly, because it's like, oh man, he would have enjoyed if we went and did this, or if we saw this movie or whatever. My puppy loves to wait for me while I'm showering at the door crying. I think it's cute. Yeah, poor puppy. It's so hard when they're young. I think that is typically I get a little bit peeved when someone like correlates having a pet to being a parent. But there is a little bit of overlap in the early years where it's like babies want to be held all the time, and puppies want to be cuddled and around you all the time. For sure. Yeah. We had a dog for a little while. He was a good boy. But when he would cry and bark and stuff, it was like, oh man, this is like not a good time. He would do it pretty frequently. He took my mama's shoe twice today. He must really enjoy that shoe. Also, I hear dog training is very good, especially from a young age. I don't know what age they start doing dog training at, but yeah. Maybe dog training is something to look into. I don't know. But we are going to be wrapping up the stream for the evening. Yuki, thank you so much for joining. Please, like I said, join the Church Online Discord so that we can connect a little bit more. Yeah, I'll keep praying for you, even when we're not streaming. But if you want to chat, again, join the Discord and we can chat. And that goes for anyone, because that's the best way that we can chat throughout the week. Or if you prefer, we have a Facebook group as well that you can find in that same link tree. And you can check out our YouTube if you're just looking for Christian content to binge watch or to keep you company. Our YouTube page has all of our stuff that we do throughout the week. So feel free to check that out. Aw, he's sleeping across your legs. I'm excited to hear about what your puppy's up to every week. Thank you for sharing. Oh, hey, we just got a hit in the Discord. Awesome. Thank you for joining the Discord, and thank you for joining our stream. And we will hopefully see you on Sunday. We're going to be doing a church online sort of thing. And then we're going to pick this up, our Wednesday streams, in the new year. So feel free to tune in for that as well. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.